Gold digger's revenge. They forced a prenup. Then I hit the jackpot. I never imagined my life would become the kind of story you read on Reddit. But here I am, ready to spill the tea on a situation so outrageous it still makes my head spin. My in-laws forced me to sign a prenuptial agreement, a constant reminder that, in their eyes, I was nothing but a gold digger. This is Effen's house. Everything here is his. That's what they made sure I knew. They were happy after I received $20 million. Life had its own way of being unremarkable for me. My name is Rita, and for most of my life, books were my only companions. I wasn't one for the spotlight, happy to fade into the background. My daily routine rarely varied, waking up each day and heading to the library. My social life was non-existent, and I was fine with that solitary existence until Ethan came into my life on a day much like any other. He was looking for a book, but it felt like he was really searching for something more. His smile was easy, disarming. "Hey, could you help me find a book? I'm feeling adventurous," he said, his eyes crinkling at the corners. Adjusting my glasses, I replied, "Sure. What genre are you interested in?" He responded with a grin that suggested he enjoyed the mundane challenge he set before me. "I don't know," surprised me. That was the beginning of everything. Our conversations became a regular part of my days, weaving a tale of shared moments and budding affection. Ethan was different. "Hey, listen," he said one day, leaning on the counter. "You know, Rita, you're the most interesting person I've met in this town. Why do you hide in here all day? Where else would I go? This town isn't exactly bursting with excitement." Effen's response was quick, a spark in his eyes. "Maybe you just need someone to explore it with. How about dinner tonight?" I hesitated, not used to this kind of attention. "I don't know, Ethan, come on," he urged. "What's the worst that could happen? You spend an evening out with a guy who enjoys your book recommendations. Plus, I promise to make it worth your while. You can show me this hidden gem of a town." Against my better judgment, I agreed. "Okay, sure. But no fancy places." "Deal," Ethan said, his smile lighting up the room. "I'll pick you up at 7, or something comfortable." That night changed everything. Ethan showed me parts of the town I'd never seen, despite having lived here my whole life. He made me laugh, a deep, genuine laugh that I hadn't known I was capable of. He listened to my stories, my dreams, with a sincerity that melted my guarded heart. As we walked back to my apartment, he stopped and looked at me, a seriousness in his eyes. "Rita, I know we've only just met, but there's something about you. You're not like anyone I've ever known. You're genuine, and in a world full of fakes, that's rare." I didn't know what to say. No one had ever spoken to me like that before. "Ethan," he cut me off, his gaze intense. "You don't have to say anything. Just know that I see you. Rita, I see the person you are." Ethan had always been the sweet spot in my day. He had this way of making me feel seen, calling me beautiful, kind, making the idea of further seem not just possible, but inevitable. "Marry me, Rita. I can't imagine my life without you," he said one evening, his eyes shining with sincerity. I didn't hesitate. "Yes," I breathed out, feeling a mix of excitement and disbelief. But before we could get lost in the whirlwind of wedding planning, there was one crucial step we had to take: meeting his parents. Ethan had given me a heads up. "My folks, they're going to love you once they see how amazing you are," he assured me, though his words did little to ease my nerves. I was a wreck before the meeting, feeling like I was navigating an impossible dress code. "Ethan, are you sure they're going to like me?" I asked, seeking some reassurance. "Hey, they'll come around. Just be yourself," Ethan replied. His laid-back attitude felt jarring compared to the storm of anxiety brewing inside me. Walking up to the door of Effen's childhood home, my heart was pounding. His earlier warnings echoed in my head, painting a picture of the scrutiny I was about to face. The dinner that followed was a minefield. Effen's parents grilled me with questions that felt more like an interrogation than casual dinner conversation. "So, Rita, Ethan tells us you work at a library. Do you see yourself doing that long term?" his father asked, his tone laced with thinly veiled skepticism. I fumbled for an answer, trying to sound confident. "I love working there. It's fulfilling in a way I can't quite describe," I said, hoping my passion would be enough to win them over. Ethan was strangely quiet throughout the barrage of questions and veiled criticisms. It felt like I was alone on a battlefield, with Ethan retreating into a role of passive observer. As we drove home, the silence in the car was deafening. I couldn't help but feel disappointed, not just in the evening's events, but in Effen's lack of support. "I thought you said they'd warm up to me." I finally broke the silence. Ethan shrugged, a frustratingly nonchalant gesture. "They just need to get to know you better." After a few more dinners that felt more like interrogations and friendly meals, it became painfully clear what they thought of me. I was some kind of gold digger, which couldn't be further from the truth. They worried about the weirdest things, like money and status. One bleak day, Ethan came home looking more serious than usual. "We need to talk," he said, avoiding my eyes. That's when I knew something was up. "What's wrong?" I asked, my stomach churning with dread. "It's my parents," he started, finally looking at me. They're insisting we sign a prenup. The word felt foreign, bitter on my tongue. Ethan, you know I don't care about your money. I know, and I don't care about it either. Not when it comes to us. They think it'll protect both of us, or whatever. I was hurt, not going to lie. It felt like they were already betting on our failure. But I love Ethan more than I cared about his parents' approval or some stupid agreement. Fine, I said, more sharply than I intended. Your money, my money, whatever. I don't care. I just want you. Thank you, babe. I hate this as much as you do, but it's just a piece of paper. It won't change anything between us. So we signed the damn thing. It felt like signing a declaration of distrust before we even started. I was in love, and love was supposed to conquer all, right? Our wedding was nothing grand, just the way I wanted it. A few close friends, an intimate ceremony, and a promise of further. I moved into Ethan's place shortly after, his parents living nearby, checking up on me more than anything else. Life with Ethan started off like something out of a fairy tale, but it wasn't long before the gloss started to fade, revealing the grim reality beneath. The shift wasn't overnight. It was a slow, insidious creep. His mother, Linda, was the first crack in our perfect picture. Remember, this is Ethan's house. Everything here is his. She'd say. Her words are a constant reminder of my perceived lack of ownership. I tried to keep my cool. I'm well aware, Linda. I'm not here for your son's things. I love him. Love doesn't pay the bills. Just remember, if you ever leave, you live with what you came with nothing. One day she paraded around the house, pointing out every valuable item. See this couch? Ethan's that painting. Also remember, dear, in case things go south, you have no claim over any of it, she said, her voice laced with venomous sweetness. It was as if she relished reminding me of my place in their world. Ethan's father, George, was equally dismissive. Grab some of those chips, George would say, not even bothering to look at me, treating me like an invisible servant. The worst part, Ethan never said a word against it. Yeah, she's still learning how to do things right around here. Different time. I felt like I was losing my mind. This wasn't the man I married. Someone cruel and dismiss. Do you even hear yourself? How can you let them treat me like this? Babe, they're just stuck in their ways. You know how old people are. He'd shrug it off, making it sound like I was the one overreacting. They don't mean anything by it. Plus, you know we're on their dime. Can't bite the hand that feeds. That line hit me like a slap in the face. So that was it. I was just a freeloader. Tolerated only because I was benefiting from their wealth. I was at work, shelving books, when a sudden wave of dizziness washed over me. It wasn't just stress. It was something more. The next thing I knew, I was in the hospital, lying in that hospital bed. I couldn't help but think how this was a new low. Just when I thought things couldn't get any darker. Rita Turner, a man asked, entering my sterile hospital room. Yeah, that's me. Who are you? My voice was weak, tired from the pain and the endless cycle of disappointment. I have something important to discuss with you. His tone was formal, but there was something in his eyes that made me want to listen. Emotion for him to continue. Curiosity. Despite the situation, I'm Michael Johnson, and I am the executor of your great uncle Edward Turner's estate. He passed away recently, and well, you're his sole heir. The words didn't make sense at first. Are you sure you've got the right person? I haven't seen him for 15 years. Quite sure. He was a private man, but always remembered you and wanted to make sure you were taken care of. Lying in the hospital bed, feeling a mix of confusion and anticipation, I urged him to delve into the specifics of my great uncle's will. He cleared his throat, opened his briefcase. Rita, your great uncle was a man of substantial wealth and taste. He left you $20 million in cash. Still trying to wrap my head around the numbers, I echoed, feeling my voice crack. 20 million. That's right. He continued, unfazed by my shock. But there's more. He also left you controlling shares in several highly profitable firms. These are not minor investments. Profitable firms out there. My mind raced trying to comprehend the magnitude of what he was saying. Owning parts of companies I had only heard about on the news seemed like a fantasy. And there's the property. Michael went on, flipping through the papers. It's not just any house, Rita. It's a mansion with history, acres of land. And it's all yours now. Don't forget about the antique car he added with a slight smile. A classic, like fully restored and in mint condition. It's a collector's dream. I chuckled, the situation bordering on surreal. An antique car. What am I going to do with that? I barely drive as it is. Michael smiled with, well, it's yours to do with as you please. Maybe take it for a spin now and then. And then there's the furniture and paintings inside the house. Your great uncle had an eye for the finer things in life. The room felt smaller. They are thicker as I tried to digest everything he was saying. So, I've inherited a fortune, a company, the mansion, an antique car, and a collection of art and furniture. That's unbelievable. It's all yours, Rita. Your great uncle wanted to make sure you were well taken care of. It seems he saw something special in you. Special, yet here I was, a millionaire many times over. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I don't even know where to start. I admitted feeling a mix of gratitude, disbelief, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. We'll take it one step at a time. I'm here to help you through the entire process. As if on cue, my phone buzzed. Stefan's name flashed on the screen for the first time in days. What happens now? But the inheritance is yours. Your life is about to change. Rita, change it. After the unexpected windfall landed in my lap, Ethan and his folks turned a new leaf. Ethan, how are you feeling today? His mother, Linda. Darling, I'm going to cook your favorite lasagna when you get back home. Just you. It was all too much, too soon. Yet I played along, thanking them for their care. But suspicion not at me urging me to look beyond there. So one day I did just that after their routine visit. My heart pounding with every step, hiding behind the corner, listening as their true selves unfolded with no audience to perform for. Can you believe how easy it is? She's terribly stupid, Ethan said. A chocolate escaping his. Linda was more calculating. Make sure she makes a baby with you, Ethan. She won't ever be able to leave us. Cruel and cold didn't shock me. Disappointment filled me, yes. Not in the slight. They show their true colors. Silently, I made my way back to my hospital bed. But I wasn't going to play their game. Not anymore. Lying in that bed, a plan began to take shape. Clear and firm. I was going to turn the tables on Ethan and his conniving family. Back at the house after being discharged, I felt like a stranger walking into what was supposed to be my home. Ethan and his parents were there waiting, their faces painted with fake concern and eagerness. The atmosphere was thick charged with unspoken tension and expectation. Ethan was the first to break the silence. Babe, you're home. How are you feeling? We've been so worried about you. Ignoring the lump in my throat, I'm feeling better, thanks. But we need to talk. All of us, I said, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. Linda, the actress, stepped forward. Of course, dear. We're here for you. Whatever you need. It was now or never. I took a deep breath and laid out my cards. I'm filing for divorce, Ethan. And before you ask, no, you won't see a dime of my inheritance. The room fell silently, air sucked out of it as if by a vacuum. Ethan's face paled, his mask slipping to reveal the panic underneath. Divorce. But I thought we were happy? Happy, the word tasted bitter in my mouth. You, your mom, and your dad have made my life a living hell. You've treated me like a servant, not a wife. And now suddenly you're worried about me because I'm worth something to you? Ethan stammered, struggling to find the words. But Linda, this is nonsense. We've always treated you like family. This is what saved me. You thought you could play me, but I'm not the naive girl you took me for. You'll regret. For your family. No, you were never my family. A family doesn't treat one of their own like dirt and then turn sweet when money comes into the picture. I'm done here. Moving into my own place was the breath of fresh I desperately needed. The apartment was small and cozy, a stark contrast to the life I left behind. It wasn't just a new living space. It was my declaration of independence. What's my fresh start? The phone call started almost immediately. Ethan, with his voice dripping with desperation, was the first to break the silence. Rita, please, you've got to come back. We can work this out, I know we can. His police fell on deaf ear. I was done and no amount of begging could change that. Ethan, it's over. I'm not coming back. You need to accept that. I said, my voice firm, leaving no room for negotiation. Ungrateful after everything we've done for you. You're us. Rita, you're making a huge mistake. For what, Lynn? For making me feel like nothing more than a burden. No, I don't owe you anything. Goodbye. Hanging up on her felt like shedding a heavy weight, a final cut from the ties that bound me to a life of misery. The divorce was a relief, a clean break from a past that had threatened to consume me. True friends, I heard about the fallout between Ethan and his parents. The irony wasn't lost on me. The very document they had insisted on, the prenuptial agreement, was now the source of their family strife. A significant portion went to charities that mattered to me, causes that would make a difference in the world, but it was the bookstore that became my passion. It was my way of reconnecting with the world on my terms. My journey hasn't been easy. It wasn't just about moving on from Ethan and his family's manipulation. Here's the new beginnings. The road ahead was uncertain, filled with possibilities and the promise of newfound happiness. So, Reddit, after hearing everything, do you think I handled the situation correctly? Was I justified in cutting them all out of my life? Especially after the way they treated me and the inheritance came into play. Their behavior was so manipulative and fake. Was I right to walk away and start fresh? Or should I have tried to salvage something, anything, from the wreckage of that marriage? Share your opinions. I'm eager to hear what you all think and learn from your perspectives.